Hi, my name is David Byron. I'm the president of the Michigan Design Council, and I'm here today to talk about what it's like to be an industrial designer. And I'm going to also introduce information on the 2021 MPrize, the Michigan Design Prize. So we're going to talk about maybe a little bit of my career, what it's like to be an industrial designer, and then look at some past finalist examples. So, what is the Michigan Design Council? We're a nonprofit that was established here in Michigan to celebrate design and industrial design specifically. And we do that through professional designer activities. There's a documentary we have on our website that you can check out. It's about 30 minutes long. And we also do a lot of K through 12 programs because we want people to know about design and how much of a history we have in Michigan about design. And so I just wanted to share with everybody that we have more industrial designers in Michigan than any other state in the country, 4,300 designers, more than California even. And we sometimes have to take a step back and understand the difference between the different career paths of design in general. There's graphic design, there's computer design, there's architecture, fashion design. And industrial design is specifically the intersection of art and design related to products. So, technology is how you invent a way to solve a problem through some sort of technical means, mechanical. We work with engineers a lot, um, coding, programming, but you're also mixing that with the art of the emotional reaction we have when we interact, look at, feel, or touch a product. And so that art side of it is the emotion mixing with the technology that is the function, and together those things really define industrial design. So we have this yearly competition called the Michigan Design Prize, and the goal is to spread awareness just about design in general and really engage students with professionals, talk to teachers, have designers interact with students, and let them know what we do. It's such a great job and a great career path that we'd love for every student in Michigan to know about industrial design. And through this, the finalists are mentored by professionals in the state. So we combine their career experience. We give them an opportunity to meet the students. We get students to be able to share their idea with a professional designer who then works with them, sketches it out, and helps them realize what their final design idea could be. And it's turned back in the form of a rendering, a 2D drawing, and I'll show some examples of that. But it's really a great investment of their time, and students walk away just excited about it. They grow their confidence to try and explore through their creativity, and it's a great way for teachers to also motivate students to sketch and prototype and even fail. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. One of our key partners is the College for Creative Studies. It's where I went to school. I'm a graduate from there and also teach a design studio. And it is one of the best, if not the best, design school in the world, not just the country, but truly the world. And we're so fortunate that it is right in our backyard. It's in Detroit. If you haven't been there, they offer tours. Now with the pandemic, getting back to the point where there is activities on campus, I would really encourage you to set something up, but at least go to their website and check them out. Most of our mentors are alumni from CCS, and it is such a just a leading influencer in the world of design, especially in Michigan. So if you don't know about it, definitely check it out and get familiar. So there I am when I was probably about 3 years old. And as many, I played with Legos and I built cars and trains and planes. And I always dreamt of growing up and becoming a car designer. And I didn't grow up in Michigan. I've been here for 21 years now. So I truly call Michigan my home. But I grew up on the East Coast and there wasn't really much information about car design. So thankfully, I found out about CCS and I moved here to Detroit. And there I am with my senior thesis project, presenting it to General Motors. And then I began my career in car design. And I had the amazing opportunity in my late 20s to actually draw a sports car, an ultimate dream supercar, and it was for Celine, and then follow that through to a concept car that was at the auto show. And it really was just the dream come true, the ultimate achievement as a kid to grow up and actually design a supercar one day. I've also designed many other things, such as helmets. And here is a Warrior Crown 360 that is a hockey helmet. And I had the opportunity to meet Red Wing players and fit them with custom fit helmets for them. But there might be some of you watching this that play hockey and wear this helmet yourselves. And I've also been able to work in kitchen appliances, design a coffee maker. So industrial design touches a lot of different industries and categories, medical products, things in your home, tools at Home Depot, you name it. The categories are endless. Any product that you can actually purchase was designed by somebody. So in the world, as I was saying, of art and function, you look at this product and you have an emotional reaction. Do you want this to sit on your kitchen counter because of the way it looks? Does it match your aesthetic? Does it match your kitchen design? And then it also solves a functional purpose. It needs to brew some good tasting coffee. So in the last few years, I've been getting into a lot of robotics related activities, and one of the projects at Sunberg Farrar, where I work, is this walking car. And yes, it sounds like a transformer, a car that can walk, but we were actually designing a car for Hyundai that had robotic legs, and trying to understand, if you could have a car that could walk, what would you do with it? And one of the compelling use cases here is search and rescue. Imagine an earthquake and the building falls down and there's rubble here. Currently, the ambulances or the fire trucks are very far away at the edge of the debris line, and rescuers have to crawl over the debris to get to somebody who might be stranded here and then pull them out on a stretcher and carry them across all that debris to get them back to the ambulance. What if the ambulance could climb over the debris and get right to the stranded person? That's a life changing use case. And so I've got a video here to share, and you can see how we brought this vehicle to life, studying biomimicry or animals. How do animals walk? From alligators that walk like a reptile here with their arms to the side and a vertical hip joint, to mammals that actually walk with a horizontal hip joint. Very different motions, very different movements. And we studied that and built this vehicle here around those principles. And working with engineers in my office, we used 3D printing and coding to develop this vehicle, which is a prototype proving out the mechanisms. So, does anybody here do coding that's watching this? If you do, and you're even just doing it on a basic app, those principles evolve into what professional engineers are doing to make this type of robot move. And we're studying gravity, center of gravity, control, walking gaits, mechatronics. So there's this relationship between industrial designers and engineers that is key to any product's long-term success. So who is a designer? I want everybody watching this to really know that at the core, anyone who tries to solve a problem by making something can be a designer. But the key is making something. You have to think about it, you have to develop it, draw it, come up with a plan, and actually try something. So, what does a designer do? Designers learn about people. You really need to think about others, not just yourself. A good designer can solve a problem for themselves, but a great designer solves problems for other people. So when you think of an idea and you make a plan, you draw that idea, and you make something real, I really want to talk about empathy. So, how do you think like a designer? Think about improving the life of others. Ask questions like, how can this experience be better? How could it be easier? Something as simple as just it's more fun is a good starting point when thinking about a challenge. Can it be more efficient? Maybe there's just no solutions out there at all. And you're looking at a completely new idea or a new opportunity. But you really want to put yourself in someone else's shoes and think about life through their perspective, not just your own, but what are their pain points? What is their ecosystem? What are the things that are going on in their household or with their family that are going to influence how they interact with your product? Try ideas out and don't be afraid to fail. We really have to always be okay with failing. It didn't, we didn't get that car to walk on the first try or the second try or the third try. I mean, these types of things can take 50 tries just to get it to lift its leg. And if we would have given up on the 40th, we would have never gotten to that 51st try that it actually worked. And I just want everybody to know that failure is really just a way to learn what didn't work, and it's just one step closer to getting to the idea that will work. So I know, math is something that can be very frustrating, and when you get a math problem wrong, it's just like, I just want to quit because I'm never going to get this right. But when you get it wrong, you just know that that was one solution that didn't work, and you can cross that off the list and evaluate it and go on to the next solution. So don't be afraid to fail. Keep practicing. Practice and think about how I can communicate my idea to other people. And that can come through a drawing, a sketch that you do to show somebody to explain your idea. You can do it on the computer with a graphic design illustration. A good way to tell stories is through videos or making a physical model, Legos, for example. But you're always thinking about storytelling. And to do that well, you need to practice your craft. You need to practice whatever mode that you use to tell your stories. So if you like to draw, draw a lot, practice that a lot. Computer design, video editing, photography, filmmaking, making prototypes, building robots. You have to do it a lot to really get good at it. And then the story can come through your communication method easier. So, a couple examples of some finalists from this past year. This is a silver award winner in our K through 2 category. And Blake was actually her second year as a finalist in this age category. And she had an amazing idea for last year's challenge, which was to uh, help promote local food, sourcing and delivering or eating local food in Michigan. And she had this amazing idea and worked with a designer from Zenith, which is a sports equipment brand in downtown Detroit. And she worked with that designer to come up with a way to use recycled corn husks to make packaging for produce. Amazing to deliver food in a container made out of a food byproduct. So she worked with that designer. He created kind of the layout of the machine. They ideated together, and then Connor, the designer, figured out the storyboard and sketched it all out, but really brought her idea to life. And it was a really innovative concept. Here is Charlie Green, Bronze Award winner in the third to fifth grade category. And her idea was to say, well, I love food trucks, and food trucks really are cool that they bring, food to people, but you're then cooking it on site. And what she identified as a problem was that many people don't have access to fresh produce, whether you live in an urban area or you don't have nearby landscape access to gardening, or you don't even have a good grocery store near you. Uh, People need fresh produce. And so her thought was to use hydroponics and have a food truck that is growing fresh fruits or vegetables right on the truck. And so the truck comes to you, the doors open, and you can pick your green beans right off the vine and then weigh them and pay for them right there. And using a hydroponics, they're always growing, always fresh, always recycling the water. She had this idea of having fish in the tank to provide circulating nutrients to grow from. So just really fantastic and holistic idea, and thinking about a real pain point and how to bring a solution to as many people as possible. So these are examples, two examples of a student and a professional designer partnering, taking their original idea, and then creating this final output. And just to let you know, all the finalists that win different positions within their age category, they're actually selected by the Michigan Design Council board of directors by their idea, not what the designer did with them. So the designer's work is actually done after their placement has already been chosen. So they are awarded their place on the quality of the idea and the ability for them to articulate it. So think about this for the 2021 challenge topic, that the ability for you to articulate your idea and apply it to Michigan and as many people as possible is what judges are looking for when they select the 12 finalists throughout the state. So this year's challenge topic is designing a game or a craft or a project or even a toy that helps create fun and meaningful engagement with friends or family while social distancing. So this could be meaningful engagement through in-person activities. That could be from one backyard to the next backyard, or still staying 6 feet apart. In person, it could be through virtual engagement. So you could be playing an iPad game with someone else in another location on your iPad. You could be doing some car to car games. I know people have been doing some, driveway drop off type activities. Think of like door to door pen paling or using good old snail mail. Anything that is a game or an interactive craft or a project or something you could do with friends. So one that we had talked about was just an idea of creating some type of bracelet craft where you start it and you send it to someone else, and then they continue to work on it, and they send it to another person, and you continue to build this together, and then you have to start a second one after you pass off. So there's this circle that's always going around with friendship bracelets, and as they're completed, then you have one that's finished, and everybody in your circle ends up with a finished, completed bracelet. That would be a great craft that would be safe to social distance, and you could design the tools or design the craft making system to do this. And so maybe you've seen one of these types of craft making games or bracelet making systems that exist that you can buy at a store. So thinking about that, you could go down that path. Now we kind of already took that idea off the table by throwing that out there, but really want to just give an example and kind of think how to do this. So games, digital, analog, any way you want to approach this. It's very wide open for this year. So the challenge deadline is coinciding with the end of the school year. So the second week of June, June 11th. And if you have any questions, have your teachers reach out to us at info@michiganddesigncouncil.org. Thank you.